Hey everybody. If you're hanging out with me right now, you are here for a short version of a body scan. This is sort of for folks who maybe just come into this knowing I don't have the time, or I don't really have the attention span, or what I call this, I don't have, if I'm in that situation, it's I don't have the capacity for this right now, or I'm going to bed. I just want to see something that I might pass out watching. Um, Been there, done that, still there and doing that uh, on, most days. I'm human. The body scan that we'll be using for this is a shortened version of the body scan used in the mindfulness-based stress reduction workbook. Um, there will be another video that's the extended version, but this one again is for those kind of on the go or just don't want all that. It'll last approximately 15 minutes, and it can be done in any position that's comfortable for you. Uh, Yoga teachers like to ask you to find, this sort of seated position, or meditation teachers do, or to lie down. I mean, how many of us have done these things in our beds? Laying on my belly, on my pillow. You do it where it feels most comfortable for you, in a position that feels most comfortable for you. I would just recommend, okay, that you're in a space where, for the most part, to the best of your ability, right, as far as your access will allow, you feel a sense of safety and comfort, okay? I realize that that's a privilege. So I would ask that even if that means that you need to do this in your car, on your lunch break, or you prefer to, find a place where you can hopefully derive the most sense of being settled, okay? And I usually ask folks to close down the eyes if it's comfortable, but you don't have to, okay? If you can hear me and you're in a body, you can do this, okay? So let's get started. I am fully aware that with my little mic, that the bells might sound a little jarring, or definitely maybe not as soothing as they would in person, but I'm still going to signal the beginning of the body scan and the end of the body scan by gently bringing the bells together. We won't go into the reason why, but just know that when you hear them for the first time, we're going to get started, and when you hear them for a second time, we're wrapping up. So find that position. Decide how you'd like to have the eyes. And let's get started. So I think it's a good idea, I just thought of it, that it's a good idea to once again invite in some settling. It might not come in when you open the door and tell it, all right, it's settle down time or settle in time, but at least invite it in. If this means going from shoulders stuck in ears to relaxing them far away from the earlobes, if this means kind of fidgeting or stretching or coming onto your belly or flipping to your back, just sort of listening to your body, the environment you're in, and calling in settling. If the eyes want to stay open, right, I would invite you to kind of let them go where they want to go for a moment. And if you're able to let them go where they want to go, and you've established sort of this is a safe space for the next 13 and a half minutes, see if you can at least lower the gaze and soften the gaze a little bit, okay? If it feels safe, close the eyes down. And let's start by congratulating ourselves for showing up to take time to practice. This is not a given. Uh, as far as this doing this virtually goes, I think this takes even more discipline. Even if you just have me in your hand on a phone right now, making the choice to do this, it's important. It matters. It needs to be celebrated. So even if you just go, hey, good job, me, high five, you did it. Take a second, right, and let a little gratitude settle in with you. Take a moment and not really specifying or focusing on one area of the body. I want you to notice if there's any places that you notice clenching, gripping, holding. Could be the breath. See if you can let those things relax. You can invite in a little bit of, you know what? Let's just let this be for a second. I'm going to relax my grip on that for a few minutes. The forehead, the eyes, the jaw, the teeth touching. That usually indicates some clenching. Let them go. Tongue, if it's super glued to the top of your mouth, let it fall. The neck, the shoulders. If you're watching this, you've seen me very consciously drop my shoulders a few times already. It's something that I'll always be working on. So I invite you to let the neck and shoulders relax. The hands, we don't need to be gripping, holding, or clenching. The belly, the seat. Also the hips and the rib cage area. I liken this rib cage area to sometimes it feels kind of like this corset feeling, like I'm not conscious of it, but I'm kind of holding and squeezing. Let go. Feet, let them be feet. Let them go floppy, limp, loose, light. And then from the top of your head down to your feet. Let's take a second, and you can do this silently or out loud. Name all the sensations that you notice right now. Again, without me directing your attention. Maybe it's, man, my nose is chilly, or I just keep making fists, or you're right, holding my breath, or actually I feel like opening my eyes again and looking around my space, or my low back feels a little tweaky and pinchy. I think I want to change positions, or God, my arms and legs feel so loose and held and almost tingly. My body feels soft, or maybe it feels tight. Looking for those little descriptors, those little adjectives, and pinpointing to the best of your ability where you notice them at, on, in, around, at the body. And then the same way that you might take hand with a loved one or with someone that you're caring for, whom you're caring for, to lead them somewhere, okay? Whether it's, great grandma, she just kind of needs help these days finding the kitchen. She wants a glass of water, but that's become pretty challenging. Or you lose a friend at a concert, or you're at the grocery store and you need to grab, your toddler's hand and take them back to the cart. I want you to look for your attention or your awareness, and I want you to kind of latch hands with your attention right now. And I want you to just gently guide it the same way you guide a loved one to your face. Don't change anything about your face. You don't need to touch it. Even if you're locking your jaw right now, I just want you, right, your attention to just notice what it's like to have a face. The forehead, the eyebrows, between the eyebrows, the eyes, the tip of the nose, but also the nostrils, the lips, the top and bottom lip. If the lips are touching or they're parted, the chin. What about the flesh or the skin of the face, temples? Everything that you notice about the face. And the hair. Scan all around with that attention, noticing the hair. Maybe labeling it out loud. Hair. Ears. Noticing all the sounds, right? Maybe in addition to me, that you can hear in this moment. What's it like to have ears? Sides of the neck. The back of the neck. The base of the skull, down to the upper back. Right where you kind of feel that hairline back there, right? Maybe down to where your shirt starts. Scanning across the tops of the shoulders. Again, you can label them. The shoulder blades, across the upper back, and then just noticing that little space between the shoulder blades. If you could relax the shoulders even 2% more, try it. Notice the armpits, the upper arms. Again, maybe the skin or the temperature, maybe the fabric of your shirt or a blanket, or you might be in a hoodie or a coat. Maybe your arms are against a bed or a couch or the seat of a car. The elbows, the forearms. See if you can let them be perfectly still, and you can try to go inside forearms. The muscle and bone, the wrists, until finally, imagine the same way you'd pour yourself a glass of something delicious. Pour all of your attention into both hands. So noticing just hands, the fingernails, the spaces between the fingers, the length of the fingers, temperature, the weight, the palms of the hands, the backs of the hands, inside of the hands, just the thumbs, just the thumbnails. Again, you can name them hands. And then let your attention gently release out through your fingertips and allow it to kind of float and just kind of hover. And then that attention settles right at the chest, across the chest, underneath the collarbone area, looking sort of for heartbeat. Take a moment, can you sense the heart? Even just where you think it's located. Oh, that's where my heart probably lives. Everything about the chest, the breastbone area, coming down to the rib cage, front, sides, the back ribs, the mid back, right? Lower to the abdomen, the belly button, right? The low back, sides of the body, right? Going out to the sides and maybe traveling up to the armpits and back down again. The seat, the tail, the sits bones, the pelvis, the pelvic floor, the genital area, pants, maybe, or maybe not. Just feeling rooted or a sense of rootedness through sort of the tailbone, pelvic floor, sits bones area. Finally, coming to the hips and noticing whatever you notice about hips, right? The bones, the shape, any sensation or lack thereof. Until once again, hand in hand, I go with my friend, right, my attention, and I travel down the length of both legs at whatever pace is most available to me. I'm going to notice the upper legs. I'm going to notice my knees, pressure at the knees or lack thereof. I'm going to notice behind the knees, and the low legs and the calves and shins, ankles. And finally, when I'm ready, deposit every last drop of energy, attention, of focus into the feet. Again, the toes, toenails, spaces between the toes, soles of the feet, the heels, the skin, socks if you're wearing them, shoes if you're wearing them, the weight, tingling inside, at, on, discomfort, any sensation that you might notice right now while you notice these feet that you have. And then take a nice deep breath. Silently, you can say, or out loud, I am here now, whole body complete. Whatever it might sound like or feel like, give a little gratitude for said whole body complete as we complete our body scan. Thanks for taking this time for yourself. Be well. See you soon. Namaste.